Ross, it's a big week. Is there a bit of emotion in farewelling a couple of club legends?
Yeah, it's good. We had our last meeting and just had a bit of footage and spoke, and they've been such great servants for the club, and the club's been great to them, and great warriors, and you don't, it's just so self-directed and motivated. It just makes it really easy. So their longevity speaks for itself, and played a lot of final series and instrumental in building the club up. So yeah, and everything they've gone through. There's been some significant injury for both of them. So both really courageous. Yeah, you tend to well up a little bit.
Be a bit weird going on without him.
Yeah, well, the only constant thing in AFL is change. So nothing's forever, everything's transient. So they've got their lives in great shape, and I know that's probably a key to it. We focus really hard to try and encourage our players' off-field development, and they're two that are in great shape. So yeah, you put your head on the pillow knowing that that their families and their business life is really strong.
Last home game as well for the season. Is that pretty special for you guys?
Well, especially in the context that our members and partners get to farewell champions of our club, and it's a big game. Essendon, will be stinging. They'll come over fierce. There's been incredible ticket sales for it. It's a great stadium. It's a night game, so expecting a great atmosphere and a great game.
Hayden seems to want to play on. Would you endorse him continuing his AFL career elsewhere?
Well, it's not for me to decide. It's sort of for others to sit there and make a decision. For me, it's been fantastic.
You can see me. Sorry, Ross.
I can't see you back there, mate. You just move around a little bit.
Sandy's future, Ross, assistant coaching, is that something you could move into, do you think, and potentially down here?
Yeah, I haven't had any discussions with him at all. So, we like to engage our good people, but it's at the right time. We're squarely focused on performance, still coaching hard, and but we'd like to engage. And even if they come back whenever it is at the right time, we've had Luke McFarlane come talk to our group. He, great leader, great player, and Pavlich. So we've got Tendai Mzungu working here, Michael Johnson. So, we'd love to engage those type of characters.
What's the big focus heading into this clash against Essendon? What do you guys really need to achieve in it?
Well, we want to improve. We'd like to get the 4 points. Our game situation, saved the game, has cost us a couple of times, so we rehearsed that at training. So we're in the short term and long term future. So we want to continue our competitiveness. It's been really competitive all year, and get the 4 points.
Ross, mathematically you can still make finals. Do you see yourselves as still being alive?
It's not something I've looked at. We were obviously really gutted last week. Our effort was enormous. We didn't close out the game, so that hurt obviously, but the big picture in context, what we feel we've had out of the team, probably 8 of our best 16 last week, and against the Cats, we're getting games in the young players. We had debutant Carter, so the big picture, it's bright, but you got to get the process right, your effort and all your systems right, and then the points. When you don't get it right at the death, you don't get the results. So we just want to keep improving.
Is there part of you that thinks you might be able to still play finals?
It's not something I've looked at. I'm not great at maths, so I'm just a footy coach. So if you get the right results, they'll take care of themselves. But we just want to keep driving to the line.
Ross, just on the 8 out of 16, where's Nathan Wilson and Luke Ryan at progressing at the moment?
Yeah, well they're progressing. We won't see Nathan Wilson again this year, but he's got some bone bruising in his toe. He's played with some difficulties. So, but Luke Ryan and Brennan Cox, hopefully available next week.
Was that bone bruising something that could have been avoided if you hadn't played with a sore toe?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
And it's not anything long term. It's just how does bone bruising work? Is it something that needs
it dissipates over time?
Okay, cool. And as far as this season itself, with the injuries, you had such an amazing start. How frustrating is it to coach to have such key players go out of the side when you were building something?
Well, everyone deals with it. Your teams have good runs, and I think everyone was looking at Richmond there for 2 years, not an injury, and thinking, what are they doing? Is it Punt Road and the service and the thatch and how many mil it is and what sort of training sessions? And then, obviously over the last year and a half, they've had real challenges. So it just ebbs and flows. But when you're playing fierce footy for a long period of time, we've hardly got a soft tissue injury. It's just some bone and feet issues. So we're not overly concerned with our soft tissue management. It's almost a non-issue, to be frank. So and there's a bit of a hyperbole about it, a lot of opinion. unfortunately, just opinion gets reported and facts get missed. So, yeah. But for me, I love everyone available. I'm a better coach when Stephen Hill's running off the half-back line and kicking it to Jesse Hogan. I know that.
Ross, for Sandilands and Valentine, how much will you use that emotion in the build-up? Has that mainly been done already, or on the night?
Well, I tend to try and learn off the best, and Lee Matthews talks about that emotional burst lasts for about 30 seconds, and then you've got another 119 minutes and 30 seconds to go of just hard work. So, we just want to show the esteem we hold them in with great effort and action.
We have videos or something of their highlights, or is that?
Yeah, we've done that already. Yeah.
As far as you spoke about Luke Ryan previously, how important is he in the long-term future of the Freo Dockers?
Well, he's one of our young players that's come on. Our backline was very young last week. He's a third-year player. Taylor Duman, third-year player. Chera, second year. Load, third year. Hughes, fifth year, but a rookie, didn't start playing 16. So, he's really important. He's getting better every year, and it'd be incredible to see. It'd be great to be able to see and project where he is in another 5 years. So he was in all-Australian form, really.
Are you at all worried that potentially Victorian clubs might try and bring him back to Victoria?
Well, I think it's just the state of the game, and everyone's trying to get everyone. Everyone's trying to attract talent, retain talent, and identify talent. And the clubs that do that their best put the best list together. But it's a fine balancing act with the salary cap. But fortunately, that's not my responsibility to do the contracting and manage the salary cap.
Have you spoken to Stephen Hill, Ross, about staying at the club beyond this year?
No, not at all. I've never spoken to players about their contracts. I just coach them, build a relationship, work the environment. When I was at St Kilda, I had Rewald out of contract, Del Santo, Hayes, he had Pavlich and Mundy and all those players. Stephen's been out of contract before. It's just the reality of the business, and you hopefully just work through those things. And our list management, Mark McAuliffe and Peter Bell, who heads it, hopefully they can get it done.
Just with Nathan Wilson, he was sore for a few weeks before he was on the injury list and wasn't declared to play. With bone bruising, it's essentially a minor, very minuscule fracture. Could that have been prevented, and will you consider that in the future?
Well, you've got more knowledge than me. I wouldn't have thought it's a fracture. I think it's just bone bruising.
How much impact, say, Ross, do you have on when it comes to compiling your list or targets for next year? How much say do you have in those targets?
In regard to?
In terms of the players, you want to target positions that you feel need to be filled.
Are you talking about under 18 talent, or
when you go to the trade period?
Through the trade period, yeah, we have all year. Clubs have people behind the scenes identifying and have discussions at the footy subcommittee. And look at our list where we think there's holes or opportunities, and they target a few, and then they try and zero it in. And then it's at what cost. I think that's the real art form during trade period, about how much you give up to get it, and sort of, everyone's trying to strike I don't know if it's fair, but an equitable balance how they see it.
A couple of the young guys running throughout in training from the under 18 WA side, any of them impress you when you saw them? Yeah, both of the young fellas, but we've got our development team really take them under their wing, so Lukey Jackson and Elijah, they're really good, they're pretty impressive lads.
Ross, who carries who off at the end of the night on Saturday night?
Pardon?
Who carries who off the ground at the end of the night with your retiring players?
I'm not too sure, really. Aaron might have to carry off Bellas. That'd be a good look, wouldn't it? No, so, look, I've got bigger fish to fry than worrying about who's getting chaired off. But it's actually an interesting point. So, look, we want to get there and compete. It really is. The emotion's nice, and there's sentiment in the game at the right time. But there's an AFL game to be sort of run on one here, and a fierce competition. If we just get caught on the side shows, we'll miss the main course, really. So. We've got to get it done in front of our fans and members.
How important is it for those guys who are leaving to sort of finish this season on a high?
Yeah, well, I think it's important for them. We'd all like it to happen, but fairy tales don't always happen. We know that.
And just Ross, won't be their last game? Are you intending to play Aaron the following
I haven't
week,
really even thought about it, to be honest. Yeah, but the reality is it's the last home game in front of the Purple Haze, really. And we'd like to hear them at their loudest. So amazing against Geelong. Ticket sales are through the roof. We're exceeding what's been budgeted for. I think they budgeted for 10,000. I think 15,000 tickets have been bought. So we're expecting a relatively full house. So if you haven't got there yet, get there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.